Broadcasting live from 3 different places. This is Tap Tap Concede. Graham here.
James here.
Cameron here.
And we are, by here, I mean my house. And
my house. Yeah, my house.
James's house.
And Cameron's hole in the ground.
Nice.
Cameron's house. Because, it's Tap Tap Concede Social Distancing Edition. There's no way for us to even fit. I don't even think 3 of us could fit in Studio B across the width of that wall 2 arms lengths apart.
No. It's 2 meters, which is about 6 feet. So that means there would need to be me and then 6 feet and then you and then 6 feet. So it's 12, about 14 feet.
That room's only like 13 feet wide.
I think we can maybe do it. I don't know.
We're all long boys too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if our
arm
camera goes that wide. Yeah.
You could do 2. We could probably do a podcast with 2 people, maybe, but still, it's not a great look. Is the point also because I want to encourage people to do the right thing right now. I'm seeing a lot of, without getting too deep into stuff, seeing a lot of people being like, it's fine, don't worry about it. And it's like, no, we're gonna be a good example here. Just don't get near people if you don't have to.
Can do.
Yeah.
I've been training my whole life for this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're if you're listening to the podcast, you may not notice any difference. I mean, maybe if you're a real audiophile, you might notice some slight changes in the timbre of our voices. If you're watching the video version, you'll see these fancy graphics. Look at them, aren't they neat? We don't know how long this will continue for this and our other podcasts, but that's what's happening for now. And we're gonna. This is what we do to keep making the podcast because we don't want to stop. We want to keep making content and bringing it to you and entertaining you as best we can. We're very lucky in that we are in a position where we can continue to keep doing the things that we do and that we get to keep bringing you entertainment. And it just has to look a little different. So hopefully everyone's cool with that because this is how it's going to be.
Seems good to me.
I'm
wearing my pajamas. This is great.
Oh, James, awfully fancy, wearing pajamas.
Wearing clothes.
I mean, I'm wearing very comfortable pants, but then I would also be wearing these if we were recording at the moon base.
That's fair.
You can't see my pants when we record.
Look, noon snuck up on me. Animal Crossing had to be played. I didn't quite have time to get myself prettied up. So
you're taking to self-isolation well then.
Quite well. Actually, today is actually the worst I've been, and I don't know why, because today is I think it's because I know today is a proper full work day. We've got this podcast, we've got a meeting later, I'm going to do a stream later. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, man. It's freaking me out. It's fine.
All right. Well, we're going to start with a crack a pack and then get into talking about some ways that Magic themselves have been pivoting in the face of the global pandemic. So, yeah, it turns out all the news sort of centers around that, in that it's something that everyone is dealing with. I actually find it it is relieving a bit of my anxiety that this is a thing that everyone everywhere is aware of and talking about, because it's not like a weird thing that's happening just in Victoria or just in Canada and that we're like, sorry about this. I know that no one else knows what we're dealing with, but it's this thing. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, no, I get it. It's cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I have here a pack of Fate Reforged, which was donated by me because it was in my drawer of sealed packs. Next time I'll grab some from the office next time I'm in there. But I have this one, so let's see if I can.
Crinkle.
That good noise.
Very nice. All right. Now we don't get the benefit of all looking at it at the same time, so let me see if you remember these cards. Reach of Shadows is our first.
Is that the 5 to 6 mana black removal spell?
It sure is. It's 4 and a black for an instant. Destroy target creature that is 1 or more colors.
Can't hit.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Or I guess
can't hit morphs, can't hit manifests, can't hit
instead.
artifact creatures.
Right.
Yeah. Still, you would always play it because it was 5 mana instant kill most things.
Yeah, I mean, common black removal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooded Assassin is next. It's 2 and a black for a 1/2 human assassin, and this was part of a cycle where it was these like cool modular creatures. I don't know that this was one of the better ones, but this was honestly pretty good. So when it enters the battlefield, you choose one. Either put a +1/+1 counter on it, so it's 2/3 for 3, which is like or destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. So it's a very small Vraska's finisher.
Hmm. I think I prefer the idea of using this as a 2-for-1,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like going second mode after chipping in with like a 1x of some kind.
Yeah.
Also, I think I remember not having to play around this, but I remember failing to play around this quite a lot during this limited environment, right? Where you snap off the block and are like, oh.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I guess I got a free attack. Sure, whatever, block. And then they play this, and you're like, ah, I forgot this card existed.
Yeah.
Avon Skirmisher. Do you remember this one?
I remember this one being good, or at least decent.
I assume it's a white
wrong.
card.
Thinking about the wrong one.
Is it a 1/1 for 1 that has flying?
Yep. Suntail.
It's white, right? Yeah.
It's the flying men.
Yeah.
It's not
bad.
It is a warrior, which is the only saving grace. So we got that going for
was
us.
that is that the general consensus on like 1/1s for 1 with flying in limited? They're just not good, right?
Generally speaking, yeah.
I think unless they're picking up like Umezawa's Jite, right? Like
I mean, I do, yeah. Like, I always love running these kind of cards in decks or in formats where I know there's a lot of really fun like auras, and I know that's bad because it's so easy to get 2-for-1. But like, there's nothing sweeter than dropping a 1/1 flyer on turn 1 and then suiting it up with some sort of enchantment on 2 or 3 and just starting to bash in.
I mean, that's fair. Although
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer my 1/1s with flying to come attached to other cards. Right?
That's fair.
Like, maybe Lingering Souls just ruin 1/1 flyers.
Yeah, I mean, that card is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Our next card is Lotus Path Gin, and it's 3 and a blue for a 2/3 with flying and prowess.
Gin.
I remember this card being pretty good.
Yeah, I think this one was pretty all right.
I sure blocks that 1/1 for 1.
But only after it's chipped in for 3, James.
That's true. See, they're so good.
Yeah.
I'm bringing them back. I'm fighting it in. 1/1s for 1 with flying are good.
All right, here's one I remember being a like low key auto include in limited decks that could play it. Sultai Emissary. 1 and a black for a 1/1 zombie warrior, so 2 relevant subtypes, and then when it dies, you manifest the top card of your library.
I run this in my Highlander deck,
right?
My Aristocrats deck.
Yeah, this does get into Aristocrats.
Yes, it is 2 bodies for reasonably cheap. So you feed the Sultai Emissary to Butcher of the Horde or Falconwrath Aristocrat, and then you also manifest something off the top. And it's not just a 2/2 token. It could be something good, right?
Yeah, it could be anything.
I've greased in Butcher of the Horde off of this.
Oh my god.
Which is, just a pure skill play. Because you can't even pretend you didn't top deck it.
That's amazing. This was also super relevant because this format had the exploit mechanic that when a creature entered the battlefield, you could sacrifice a creature for an effect. And this guy was just out there going, I'm right here, boss.
Yep.
Throw me in the bin.
Also, this had a alternate art version from the Ugin's Fate, which is fun.
Oh, right.
I forgot all about the Ugin's Fate alternate artwork were fun. I wish they were available in foil. Because
I totally forgot about those Ugin's Fate packs.
I sat across from someone at the pre-release, excuse me, who opened Eugene, Alt Art Eugene.
That's very spicy. Speaking of spicy. This pack of Fate Reforged is actually from the Fate Reforged pre-release.
Ooh, vintage.
It was a pre-release where I managed to go 5-0.
Cough, humble brag, cough.
Oh, not humble at all. I am so proud of that, because it was one of those things where it's like, well, get to the finals. All right, do you want to split? And the other guy did not want to split, so I was like, okay, and I beat them. So it's like, well, alrighty.
Always so satisfying.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the time where I offered the split in the finals, and my opponent was like, "No, I think I can beat you."
Oof.
2 top deck bonfire of the Damned later. I wound up winning that match.
Nice. I would hope so.
Top deck bonfire, yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
So I have.
There was a reset
But here's the
for
thing.
finals.
So here's the thing, though, is I got this stack of Dragons of Tarkir and Fate Reforged packs that I went, great, thank you, took home, put in a drawer, and
There they have sat for a few years now.
yeah, they've just been sitting in the drawer since Reed's copyright information on Booster Wrapper 2015.
Great.
5 years old.
Honoring the memory of your win.
Those packs are older than your daughter.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. It's not going to be too long before she starts deploying those.
Our next card is Harsh Sustenance.
Oh, God.
It's 1 white black. For an instant, it deals X damage to target creature or player, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control.
I remember this being not good.
I definitely won with it once and lost against it once, and then didn't really see it ever.
Yeah, that's fair. It's kind of it wasn't the easiest card to play, as I recall, so it doesn't really surprise me.
No.
I guess, like, if you've got a giant board stall, you could conceivably, like,
go wide, dome you.
Yep.
Well, James, here's the enchantment to put on that 1/1 flyer.
Uh-huh.
Mardu Rune Mark. 2 and a red for an enchantment creature aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, and the creature has first strike as long as you control a white or black permanent.
I mean, yeah, this is great. You're in Mardu. You got a 3/3 flyer with first strike on turn 3. What could possibly go wrong? Other than, a 3/4 flyer or a removal spell.
Any amount of removal, yeah.
Yeah.
If they did have the Lotus Path Gin, that's just setting you up for a colossal blowout when they use a spell to kill another one of your creatures and then block with their now 3/4 Lotus Path Gin.
Yeah. I don't have the greatest memory of this format, but I don't remember that card, so I'm guessing it wasn't very good or played very often.
Generally, the Rune Marks did not see a lot of limited play.
Yeah.
I think the black one gave Death Touch and was okay. Oh, the blue one gave Flying.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's not bad.
The Jeskai Rune Mark that was blue gave Flying. This format was bomb rares.
Yeah.
Fate Reforged had just a wild power level at rare, and so you would open just disgusting stuff and then be like, well, we're doing this now. Formless Nurturing is 3 and a green for a sorcery. Manifest the top card of your library, then put a +1/+1 counter on it.
I remember that being okay.
Yeah, it's a 3/3 for 4.
Yeah.
But it could be something bigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tassigur's Cruelty. 5 and a black sorcery. Each opponent discards 2 cards, but it has Delve. Which is the other reason you want Sultai Emissary in your graveyard.
Right. Was this card any good?
Nah.
And it seems kind of bad.
Yeah.
And overpriced. So
this is not how I want to spend my Delve. I do not want to spend my Delve resources on a Mind Rod.
Is that a common? This is still commons, right?
Yeah, this is still commons.
Okay, yeah.
In fact, our last common is a limited and constructed all-star. Can you guess? Common.
Gurmag Angler?
Nope. It's a spell. What instant at common was a bomb in limited, frankly, and relevant in several constructed formats, actually, if I recall correctly.
Was Treasure Cruise
No, that was
no,
from
yeah.
Cons.
Yeah.
No, this is Timur Battle Rage.
Oh, yeah.
We're Battle
Yeah.
Rage, yes.
1 and a red for an instant. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. If you have Ferocious, which means if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, that creature also gains trample.
I cast this on that 4/2 with Hexproof and Prowess from Cons.
Oh, yeah.
The blue Jin.
Yes, why can't I remember the name of that card?
That card went from being quite bad in Cons Limited to just being the home for Timur Battle Rage.
Yeah, that was a really good combo.
Felt good.
Yeah. Into the uncommons now. Marang River Prowler. 2 and a blue for a 2/1 human rogue. Can't be blocked. Also can't block. And you can cast it from your graveyard as long as you control a black or green permanent. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Break Through the Line. I never saw this card played.
I
saw lots of Marang River Prowlers, but yeah, you don't know what Break
I have
Through the Line is.
no idea what this card does.
1 and a red for an enchantment. Target creature with power 2 or less. Sorry, 1 and a red for an enchantment. Sits there. Does nothing. For the cost of an additional red, target creature with power 2 or less gains haste until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, this isn't good.
No.
Too much effort.
No, dude, no. No.
Our last uncommon, Valorous Stance. 1 and a white for an instant. Choose 1. Target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, or destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater.
Seems fine.
Yeah, it's only 2 mana instant. I think this got played in Mardu and Abzan, stuff like that. Our dual land is the Rugged Highlands. That's the red-green. Enters tapped, gain 1 life. And our rare is Xiu Yin, the Silent Tempest. 2 and a blue for a 3/2 legendary human monk with prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay Boros. If you do, target creature gains double strike until end of turn.
Yep, this guy was rapidly converged upon as a Tiny Leaders commander.
Oh my god, yes.
And I think was one of the competitive ones.
Maybe. Yeah, this guy was busted in Tiny Leaders while that happened.
Yep.
For 5 minutes back in 2016, yeah.
Totally reasonable power level on this.
Yeah, wow. Sorry, you blow my mind with Tiny Leaders, because I remember just as it was approaching its hype apex was at GP Vancouver that year, and I went around the tables and bought a bunch of cards to put together a Tiny Leaders deck, and I was like, cool, now I have this deck. And then we got back to Victoria and nobody played it. And I don't even know where those cards are. I think they're all in a box around here somewhere, and every time I'm like, right, I'm going to sort through my Magic cards, I find it and go, oh, right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well. Rip Tiny Leaders. That's our Crack-a-Pack. Let's talk now. Let's go back to talking about the global pandemic. Sorry, everybody. So it's tough to play Magic in person if the recommended course of action, and indeed the required course of action in some places, is to stay home and not talk to anybody. Well, that's not true. Not talk to anybody, but it's to stay home and not interact in person. And so Magic themselves and also CFB events have introduced a variety of ways, actually, that they are looking to make it so that Magic and indeed the competitive level Magic organized play can still happen in this environment. James, do you want to actually start running through the list here, since I think actually you've read this more times than I have?
Yeah, I mean, I guess first off, so I've been more or less trying to avoid Reddit this last week, just in
Smart.
general.
Smart.
Not a Magic thing, just Reddit in general seems like a weird place to go to right now. So I don't actually know what the reaction to all of these announcements have been, but I definitely want to give a massive shout out to both WotC and Channel Fireball for the speed in which they have turned around and figured some things out, right? Like there are 3 initiatives that we can touch on today. One in arena, one in arena, one on MitGo, and one that can happen sort of at home with your local game stores and Friday Night Magic and stuff like that. And it's clear that they have spent this past week working their asses off trying to figure out how all of this can work and come together. So kudos on that. And then as for what they've announced, so there is a article over on magic.gg, which we can link below in the video description. And it's giving an update on basically all of the organized play that's happening in the coming weeks. I think smartly they are planning only a few weeks out at a time. I think that's probably the best way to approach this. I think it would be silly to just say this is how it's going to work for the next 6 months, because nobody knows. So at least,
I mean, even us doing this podcast, this is something that we talked about a couple weeks ago as sort of like, okay, well, this is an option for how we can change things to do podcasts. We probably won't need to do that, but it's good that we've talked about it. And then it was like, oh, well, no, I guess we do. All right.
Yep.
So yeah, here we are.
Yep. So the big one, at least sort of, I think that a lot of people are pretty excited about is Magic Fest Online. So obviously, in light of everything that's going on, Magic Fests in person are more or less canceled for the time being. I don't think they've actually officially canceled a bunch of them yet, but I think it's pretty safe to say that we will not be having any Magic Fests in person for at least the next probably several months. So go ahead.
I do remember. I was just going to say, I do remember. It was like funny and like sad, but I think that he played it off really well. I think it was Wedge was sort of being like, I don't think Magic Fests are going to happen for the next little while. And Mashi Scanlon from CFB was like, well, they just closed the doors on my flight to Magic Fest Detroit, so I guess it's still happening. His plane takes off. CFB announces Magic Fest Detroit is canceled. He lands in Detroit, obviously knows the news is happening. Like he obviously has been informed about this.
Yeah.
But then he tweeted, "All right, on the ground in Detroit. Did I miss anything?"
I totally.
So that was a pretty funny sort of cell phone. But yeah, that's got to suck that it's like the announcement comes in when you're on the plane to Detroit.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read this verbatim from the website so we can get across all the information. But obviously, Magic Fest Online is a sort of a collab between WotC and CFB, who has the rights to hold all of Magic Fests. So as announced by our partners at CFB Events, Magic Fest Online is a brand new way to compete for the Players Tour and Players Tour Finals invitation, as well as cash prizes. Magic Fest Online is a tournament series played on Magic the Gathering Arena, pitting players from around the globe against each other for cash prizes and invites to the player tours. Daily qualifiers are going to be run at, these are all Pacific times, by the way, 3 a.m., 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. So every, 6 hours? Yeah, every 6 hours, a new qualifier starts. So hopefully that way, everybody around the world has an opportunity to play in one of those. It's going to cost you $25, and if you finish 5-1 or better, you will advance to the weekly championship. And each weekly championship is a 2-day tournament with day 1 on Saturday and day 2 on Sunday, and you're competing for a $25,000 cash prize pool, with the top 8 receiving invites to Players Tournament Tour Series 2, and the top 32 players receiving invitations to the season finals. The tournament is 8 rounds on day 1, with players with 6 wins or more advancing to day 2. Magic Pro League and Rivals League members are invited to the weekly championship, so the competition will be tough. The season finals is a 2-day tournament with a $50,000 cash prize pool, 32 players Tour Series 2. Tour Series 2 is a very hard thing to say. Invitations and 2 invites to the Players Tour finals in Minneapolis are up for grabs. These are all new events for Magic Esports and our partner at CFB Events. And yeah, so these start the day that this podcast comes out. March.
In fact, the first one will have started. If you're listening to this episode, as soon as it goes online, the first one started about an hour ago.
Yeah, and I think you can start signing up for them yesterday, as of when this podcast comes out, or Sunday for us right now. I also forgot to mention that each player that plays in a Magic Online daily qualifier will receive a coupon for a free booster draft at a live Magic Fest when those return, which is pretty cool. I don't know. It doesn't say here if you get one for everyone you enter, or if you can only get one. But that's not bad value. Your $25 gets you in the door for this tournament, and then when Magic Fests return, you get a free draft if you can get to one, which is pretty neat. And that's one of the big initiatives to be able to actually play Magic from your home and continue to fuel the Magic Pro League and the Tour Series and stuff like that. And it seems pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you think it does seem pretty cool. I'm actually kind of amazed that this is happening. Do you think that, I mean, I don't know what they could do otherwise, because they have to have a player cap, but like I feel like 512 players is going to fill up pretty damn fast.
Yes.
Like each of these things at 3 and 9, because there's nothing stopping someone from registering for all 4 of them, right, in a day.
Yeah, I don't know how. Can I actually?
There's some grinders out there who are going to enter like 3 of them in the same day, and just jam, just jam as much as they can. And it's like 512 like their most Magic Fests have more players than 512, and that's limited by geography.
Yeah. So globally.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how registration works.
Because at the time of recording, you can't register, so I don't know what the heck's happening.
Yeah,
with
like
that.
When registration opens up, can you register for several of these? Can you only register? My guess is because it's on Arena, you can only really register for one at a time, because only one queue will probably be available. But I don't know.
That's the other thing, is how are they doing? Is this something that has infrastructure on Arena, or is this going to be a big litany of direct challenges?
No, I think this is so there will be more. Yeah, so more details and registration for the first qualifier event will be here on Sunday. So unfortunately, we'll know more tomorrow. But my guess is, I can't imagine that it's going to be I think the idea is that this is baked into Magic Arena, because I think the logistics and administration in running a 6-round tournament every 6 hours would be like, that's insurmountable. Like, I just don't think that's possible.
It would drive me mad.
Yeah, I don't think that's even remotely possible. So I'm assuming that this is built-in functionality of Arena. I would certainly hope so. And then I think the idea is there's a Channel Fireball Discord, which you can join to talk with people who are in the tournaments. You're encouraged to stream if you can, with the delay or not. It's entirely up to you. There's the hashtag MTG Together. which is super cute. And then it looks like they're going to be also doing coverage of all of these events. And I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like at time of recording. But not only are you going to be getting a tournament basically happening at every moment of the day for the next several weeks, you're also going to get content out of it, which is pretty cool. And it looks like the season finale for this is on April 11th and 12th. So I think it's like 3 weeks or 4 weeks of weekly tournaments that feed into the season finals.
All right.
Yeah.
And the season finals have the $50,000 prize pool.
Yeah, although I'm looking at,
it's pretty flat payout too.
It's pretty flat payout. It's
if you make top 8, you get $1,000. 9 through 16 is 800. 17 through 32 is 600. 33 to 64 is 400, and 65 to 130th place is $200. Everyone from first place through 32nd place gets Players Tour invites, and the top 1 and 2 get Players Tour final invites.
Yeah. I love this. I honestly don't think. I think if we were in a different situation, the prize payout might not be quite as flat. I like to think that they've done that to make it so that anybody who makes it into the season finals is going to walk away with something. Mm-hmm. Because the last thing that the world needs right now is super feel bads. Yeah. If you make the season finals, you are guaranteed to walk away. I guess, how many people make the finals? I'm not actually sure.
I guess it could be more than that, because it's anyone with 5-1 or better.
Well, 5-1 or better gets to the weekly championship.
The weekly championship. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. And the weekly championship is, it's capped. The weekly championship is capped at 512 players. You get there if you go 5-1 or better.
No, the daily qualifiers are capped at 512.
Yes, sorry, you are correct.
And then anyone from the daily qualifiers in a week that goes 5-1 or better makes it to the weekly championship.
Yeah, you're right. All right, cool. I mean, yeah, this seems super sweet. The fact that it's running more or less 24/7 and available to as many people is awesome. I think that demand for this is going to be very high. So I'm very curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be like you go to the arena store and buy a ticket for it. That's probably
I would assume so. Yeah,
infrastructure, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking at the format and structure. Deck lists are required. Modified Swiss style 50-minute rounds. 6 Swiss player round. Okay, so 5-1 or better.
By deck list, there it is. Okay, I finally found it on their page. Just a little thing on one of the graphics that says all formats standard. I actually couldn't find that information anywhere. I assumed it was standard, but I actually couldn't find that until just now. So these are all standard.
Yes. So these are all standard, and I feel like I read somewhere that this series is standard, and so for the next few weeks that feed into that final is all standard. I would love to see them do this if after we get through this thing, it's still at a point where we need to stay inside. I truly hope we don't have to, but if we do, I would love to see a limited version of this.
Oh, please. Yeah,
because I would play the hell out of that. I have zero interest in playing standard. I will not be playing in any of these qualifiers. I just don't have the knowledge to do it. But yeah. What was that, Cam?
What was that?
But James, you could die to Ember Cleave.
Yeah, I sure could.
Or go into a cat loop.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
So this, yeah, I mean, I would love to see these continuing to go on into the future. I imagine that the relative speed with which they turn this around indicates that this was something that they were building into Arena. There must have been
Oh
something
yeah,
already here,
yeah,
and this was something that they were like maybe hoping to roll out at some point in the future, but now there's a pressure on it, so we get it now.
yeah. That's yeah. Seems completely reasonable.
So that implies that they kind of will continue to support it, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see some form of this continue well beyond our current situation. I mean, I can't imagine it would ever, be something that's happening like this is 24 hours a day, but something like this continuing, in a smaller fashion would be pretty cool.
Hmm.
So that's the arena aspect, or the sort of the Magic Fest arena aspect of this sort of like play together, play at home initiative.
But what if I only play Magic Online?
Yeah, so there is the Magic Online Super Qualifiers, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit less informed on these, so we're going to read this together. We wanted to provide options for you to play at the highest levels. Therefore, in light of changes to Tabletop Player, we are adding a new qualifier to Magic Online to provide additional ways for players to compete and qualify for upcoming Player Tour events. Magic Online Super Qualifiers. These online events will run alongside existing Magic Online qualifiers and will continue to invite players to the Players Tour Series 2 events. The Super Qualifiers have enhanced set of prizes, and it looks like this is where you're going to want to go if you want to play something that isn't standard. Because I see here in this lovely little chart, March 20th, which was actually yesterday as of time of recording, they ran the first one of these at 3 p.m., which was a Theros Beyond Death Sealed. So there you go.
Dang.
Yeah. So
Darn it.
that yesterday, and then they have one, it looks like they have two today that started the minute we started this podcast. They're playing Modern and Pioneer. And then on March 22nd, they're doing another Theros Beyond Death Sealed at 12 a.m., though. So not great times for us.
Oof.
Then on the 23rd, they're doing Pioneer. Then on the 24th at 3 a.m., they're doing another Sealed event. As well as 3 p.m., they're going to be playing Standard. So Standard does get one. And then March 25th, so this is the one for us, which is this coming Wednesday at 12 p.m., Theros Beyond Death Sealed. So I guess mark that in your calendars as something that you might want to try to do on Wednesday at 12 p.m. And then on March 26th, we have Legacy. And the way that these work are start times are listed. You play, how many rounds is this? It looks like 129 to 672 players. It's a number of rounds determined by the number of entries. My guess is every one of these is going to be full. I'd be shocked if they weren't. Each round plays for 50 minutes, and then that's followed by a single elimination top 8. First through second get 900 play points, 200 treasure chests, and a premium foil set of the most recent standard legal set, including the invitation to the Players Tour. So that's first and second. Third and fourth get 750 play points, 150 treasure chests, and a premium foil set. Fifth through eighth get 600 player points, 100 treasure chests, and one non-foil set of the most recent standard legal set. 9 through 16, 400 play points and 50 treasure chests. 7 through 32nd, 425. And then finally, 33rd through 64th get 200 play points and 10 treasure chests. So yeah, I mean, this is basically very similar to what's happening on Magic Arena, but obviously much smaller scope. There won't be any sort of like coverage of it. And it's on Magic Online. So, and it's just a way to actually get some more formats being played, right? Which is great. I love it. So seems decent. Maybe I'll have to actually install Magic Online on my computer, because when I built my new computer a few weeks ago, I definitely did not install it.
I wonder how many tickets I have. Yeah, I was going to say. I wonder how many tickets I have kicking around on there.
Yeah, so it's how much? 40 tickets, 400 play points, or 40 Magic Online QPs to get in. So, I mean, I will almost certainly try out the event next Wednesday. Like 12 p.m., play some Theros Beyond Death Sealed. Heck yeah, that'd be great.
I will be streaming Final Fantasy VII. But if you were looking for something to watch while you're while you're playing in the Magic Online thing, I'll be streaming Final Fantasy VII.
There we go. Sweet content. Yeah, so that's the Magic Online stuff. And then finally, there is F&M at home with your local store and on MTG Arena. And the way that this works, I don't actually know how this one works because I didn't actually read this one. So
This one, I was reading a bit of this, and it's tricky to. I'm having a tough time sort of parsing it.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a problem for stores like ours that have basically zero online presence.
right.
So the way that F&M at home in MTG Arena. So it's this coming Friday, March 27th, April 3rd, April 10th, each for 24 hours, running Thursday at midnight to Friday at midnight. And so there are Pacific time. There's going to be 3 formats over those things. March 27th is Challenger decks. You choose between the 4 pre-con 2020 Challenger decks, and you play against other people. April 3rd is All Access, so you can play a standard deck whether you have the cards for it or not. And then April 10th is going to be Historic Brawl. And then you play in the event, and you win or lose. That doesn't really matter. Take a screenshot of that page. Then, so the instructions from Wizards are: take a screenshot of the event page, go to locator.wizards.com to find your local game store's website, join their social media channel, share your screenshot on their channel, and then the store will message you a code. And it's like, cool. Our store definitely is not prepared to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm actually messaging Nelson right now to be like, what are you doing for this? Because and I mean, it does say, note, this is while supplies last. Not all stores are participating.
Yeah. I'm looking at the top here, and it looks like in brackets they've put, don't worry if your store doesn't have an online presence. We've begun working with stores to help them set up Discord servers. And a link. Let's click that link and see what happens. This is just a link to the Wizards Play Network. So this is mainly just like teaching you how to create a Discord server.
I can't imagine Ed trying to set up a Discord server.
No, but I can imagine Nelson doing it or Wheeler doing it. So I feel like it can happen. It's just, it does feel, I mean, I guess like some of it just has to fall on the stores, has to be done by the stores to a degree.
I feel like it's adding work to the store to just like, it's just sort of keeping the store in people's mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not getting anything from it.
Yeah, which doesn't, I don't know if that really, I mean, I guess it's better than zero. It's better than nothing, but you're right. Like, the stores are going to, local game stores are going to get hit hard by this situation. And while I think this is a, kind of fun, cute way of helping them out in the immediate future, I feel like I'm hoping that Wizards can find something more to do in the further future when stores can start getting opened back up and running events again. I'm hoping that Wizards is able to I don't know, print a product that is going to really drive people to go into the stores and buy stuff, or I don't even know. It's tricky, right?
Mm.
And it looks like you get sleeves.
Yeah, you get
special sleeves.
Yeah, you get codes for special sleeves on Arena.
I mean, to be fair, that one sleeve with the crossed swords of fire and ice there, those are pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, and there's like a Seb McKinnon sleeve with like a buried Ember Cleave, and there's one of a John. Like the sleeves look sweet.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's. They do say at the bottom of the article this is the first step.
Yeah, I just noticed that. And so that's good. That's good to hear. I hope that it is the first in many steps to help the LGSs out, because a lot of them are going to be in a rough spot. So cool. I mean, these are all like really fun, interesting ways. Not to mention, like, again, like all of these have more or less come out of probably some very long brainstorming days in the last week, by the hands of both Wizards of the Coast and Channel Fireball.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that as the days go on, we're going to learn more about how exactly all of this is going to work, and maybe some other initiatives to continue to give us just different and fun ways to enjoy this game that we all love while sitting at home and playing it online. So
Yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing how the Magic Fest on Arena thing shakes out, especially if CFB events seems as keen as they appear to not only run these as tournaments but also to turn it into a bunch of content as well, which
yeah.
I mean, people are hungry for that content right now, let me tell you, myself as well.
Yeah, me too.
I think people are going to be thrilled to see coverage come back in a big way.
Yeah.
Even if it is, a little bit different than what people are used to or wish would come back. But I think this is a pretty cool first step, and at least now for the next few weeks, starting on Monday, if you want to watch Magic coverage, you got a place to do it. So
24-hour Magic coverage sounds really great right now.
It does, honestly, yeah. All right, well, I guess that's all we have to talk about this episode. And next week, I imagine we'll be talking about, how this has all been going and our participation in it.
Yep.
So, and anything else that might come up Magic wise, because it's Magic is still going to continue to be made. I know that most of Wizards of the Coast are now working from home, but so are we. We're still making stuff. So, yeah, we'll tell you about it.
It's going to be hard on Naro. I know he loves being in the trenches with all his staff.
Yeah. Being as things are so different, I totally forgot at the top of the show to mention that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. So please check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. That puts our code on there, and we're sending you their way because we know they're great, and they're still working hard, and I'm sure they're taking every precaution as well. And our current button, if you tell them loading ready run sent me button please, is sideboarding is an admission of defeat.
It's 100% true. Deck is perfect.
Yeah, deck is
Why-
perfect. It can't
Why are
it
you
can't be the
running?
deck.
If you are sideboarding, that implies that you have a better card that you could have put in your deck to begin with. I just don't understand.
Wow, the timing on this was perfect, by the way. I just got word from our friend Dennis over at CFB Events. He actually emailed me this morning asking if any of the Loading Ready Run crew would be interested in helping out with coverage of everything that we just talked about. The reason why I didn't mention it earlier is because I hadn't heard back from him yet. If I could mention that, certainly nothing is concrete yet. Literally got the email a few hours ago, and there's just a literal Google form that we can fill out if we're interested in. So tune in during all of this coverage in the coming weeks, because you might actually just see some of us helping out with commentary on any given day, which is kind of cool. I don't know who that could be yet. It's entirely up to the members of the Loading Ready Run crew if they want to help out. But he just let me know that I could mention it, so I'm mentioning it.
I look forward to leveraging my exhaustive knowledge of Standard and also looking up what Fires of Invention is. Seems to be okay, right, yes, this card.
It's medium and limited, I tell you what.
Yeah.
And of course, this show and everything we do continues to be brought to you by your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it that you continue to allow us to do this. And if you are in a position where that's not viable for you right now, that is okay. You don't have to make excuses or tell us or anything. Don't feel bad about it. We get it. But thank you always for your support, because we really appreciate it. So That is going to do it. So until next time, this has been me. I'm Graham.
And me, I'm James.
And I was Cameron.
And there's no tech this week, so...
I mean, you're technically the tech.
I guess I'm recording this all on my end, so and then I'll do the video and get it online. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway,
Ryan is this week guesting as Heather.
Whee! I'm gonna go play Animal Crossing.
Hell yeah!
All right, thanks everybody for watching, listening, whatever it is you're doing, and we'll talk to you next time.